As I mentioned, the about the faith, about the declaration in Islam is the most important. The person, when wants to be a Muslim, must declare proper and believe it, not only in mind, but have to by heart, saying by tongue, and willed it in heart. That will be, inshallah, Allah will count him as a good believer, and then will receive the promises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no doubt. Anyway, as I mentioned in Arabic about the yawm, day, and days in Quran, like yawman, like I say yawman, bil yawm, yawma izin, or so on. And also about the end, akhir, yani akhir, also in Quran mentioned many verses in Quran about this word of end, akhir, like akhirun, mutaakhirun, like akhiran, like mutaakhira. Many words I read it in Quran. Akhirat. So these words mentioned by Allah in many verses in Quran, which related to life in this world and life in hereafter. Mutaakhirun. Like akhir, in the end of one things and start the same time the other things, but continuation of life is life. But in between these two, life in hereafter or life death, there is something else Allah already created, is there. What is that? Between these two life there is a possessing. He call it in Quran the word of barzakh, which is an area very, very tiny. It's very tiny, like more than tiny than plastic, more than tiny. That divide these two life of hereafter, life of permanent, life of ijaz, this the word, that barzakh, that divided this life and that word. So for example, Allah mentioned, I would like to to tell you what is the barzakh first. Allah mentioned in Quran about this possessing, like I mentioned, possessing means barzakh. I don't know barzakh, it is just I found in a dictionary there is no meaning directly barzakh. This is the word of Allah. It cannot be any other language. But of course there be a synonym of similar, we can say possessing. So, and this one Allah used it in the verse number 53, chapter 25, in a very nice words like this. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وهو الذي مرج البحرين هذا غضب فرات وهذا ملح أجاج وجعل بينهما برزخا وحجرا محجورا. Subhanallah. And it is He who, Allah, made the two seas, two water seas, flow freely. This one is sweet and palatable, and the other one is salt and bitter. And in between two, he has placed a barrier, and inviolable, abstractions, which means barzakhun. فرات وهذا ملح أجاج وجعل بينهما برزخا. Therefore, the word of يوم الآخر is a synonyms of life of this world and the life of hereafter, in according to fiqh or jurisprudence definition. So anybody believe in this explanation that Allah mentioned, gives meaning that the end of life is connections into life of akhirat. There is a barzakh in between. This is Allah's forecast, that the condition of end of life is like a half as this like example barzakh. Now we come to the point about the life in hereafter. How we should know about hereafter. There is a lot of information need to know what's going on. It's not easy to directly we say, oh, here is a resurrection. No, there is in all our religion is considered about the hereafter. All talk about it. All gives all, because this time which we are here, even is in some way Allah is just as a count of what you do, but is not a count that you have something. No, it is not like that. Just as a sport and vanities and something like that, it is this life. But actually all our religion is rely on the hereafter lives. That is called permanent life, which is come after the Yawm al-Akhir. So Quran has answer about these questions, that what is in Akhirat, what's going to be. There Allah said about it in many verses. First, He described life of this world first. How is this life? What value or what it is worth it, this life or not? It is, but only to let you to the person to be life for few months or few years, or cannot be 100 years, but anyway, but mostly it's just like one day, just like 1 hour, like 1 minute. Right now, whatever I'm right now here, that's my life. I don't know about after this, and all the past was nothing. It just was, if I thinking about the past, it means I lost in the future, for future. However, Quran mentioned it about the life of this world by very low gears in this world. That's why this is here. It is in Surah Al-Ankabut, verse number. By the way, whatever I'm saying, I can prove for you, so always. The Surah Al-Ankabut saying, Allah mentioned it, وَمَا هَذِهِ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَهْوٌ لَعَبٌ وَإِنَّ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانُ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. Meaning, in the life of this world is nothing but a sport in pastime. In the abode of the hereafter is indeed the life, if they but know. لا يعلمون لو كانوا يعلمون. Then in another chapter, verse number 39, described beside of life in Akhirah, Allah mentioned about the result of action, what a believer will receive in hereafter, in that life, what the people will receive. And according to this verse, Allah mentioned it very nicely, saying, يا قوم إنما هذه الحياة الدنيا متاع وإن الآخرة هي دار القرار من عمل سيئة فلا يجزى إلا مثلها ومن عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فأولئك يدخلون الجنة يرزقون فيها بغير حساب. صدق الله العظيم. It's beautiful. So this verse is a story, first of all, of the Prophet Moses, that he come after from the Egyptian, from the Pharaoh, he come back again to Canaan. And there's those people, a lot of people also has come against them. And everyone was like, said, oh, you are not in this, our people here, you are from Egyptian, you are, something, how we believe you. Even though he had a lot of follower, but generally, all the Bani Israel's side of those people, they are not follow proper the way which is Musa's, peace be upon him, was telling them. And each one was always as a kind of questions, how he left there. He was in the Pharaoh, and then it was the top, and then now he is also lots of things. But he has to be, probably he came here to this his father's country, to be as a king, to be as a good life, and to be enjoying, like. And then that's why Allah brought this verse to them. It is just this is actually in Torah in different translations, but in Quran mention it about that happened with the Musa with the peoples, with the people has blamed them. He wants to be again a king on us. And he is a worldly person because he's raised as a Pharaoh, as a big life, and so on. But then now he wants to do that. But this is the verse come at that time in the Quran also was repeatedly to give information, but it is the same, or from Allah. Anyway, I will like give you, because I cannot go more, I would like to give you another break, and then after break I explain more about this. Stay with me.